Welcome to Silver Series Secrets, the video tutorial series that helps you use Silver Series operator interface terminals with other Watlow products. In this installment, you will learn how to use the time-based data transfer object to copy data from EasyZone controllers to the OIT's onboard memory, set up the data sampling object to record data periodically, retrieve data log files from the OIT, and open log files in Microsoft Excel. We'll be using a Silver Series OIT communicating with an EasyZone RM control system, a laptop computer with EasyWare 5000 and Microsoft Excel software, a USB or Ethernet connection from the computer to the OIT, you can use either method, and a list of the addresses and data types of the parameters to include in the data log. This lesson assumes you already know how to connect EasyZone controllers to an OIT via 232 or a 485 or Ethernet network. Determine the Modbus addresses and data types for parameters in EasyZone controllers, and use EasyWare 5000 to create projects that communicate with EasyZone controllers. If not, see the Silver Series Secrets installment that shows the communications method you want to use. This EasyBuilder 5000 project is already configured to communicate with my EasyZone RM system, and the RM was already set up to measure 8 temperatures. A Silver Series OIT will log multiple data points in a single file if the data points' addresses are consecutive. Since the analog input values I want to log are not at consecutive Modbus addresses, the first step is to copy these values from their various addresses in the controllers to consecutive memory locations in the OIT. Working from a list like this helps me make sure I get the right data in my log and I don't overwrite values in the OIT that I might use for other functions. We'll use the data transfer time-based object to copy the data to be logged from the controllers to consecutive locations in the OIT's local memory. From the Objects menu, choose Data Transfer Time-Based. Click New. I'll call this RM1 AI1 for the first RM module's analog input number 1. For address type, choose Word. Because the data type of an analog input value in an EasyZone controller is a float, it takes 2 words to store, so set number of words to 2. I'm going to log data every minute, but I want to make sure that data is up to date when I log it, so I'll set interval to 10 seconds. For the source address, set PLC name to the name of the driver that communicates with the controller. I called it EasyZone RM System. For the address, select 4X and enter the address for the item to be copied. What the actual address is depends on the system and its configuration. For destination address, the PLC name is local HMI, the name of the OIT, and for the address, I'll use local word 800. I know I have plenty of addresses starting there that are not used for anything else in this project. Since the data transfer object will copy 2 words, I have to remember this uses local words 800 and 801. Click OK. I'm going to add 7 more items to the data transfer object. Click New. EasyBuilder copies some of my last entries into the new item. I need to update the differences. This is for the second analog input. Address type is Word. Number of words is 2. Interval is 10 seconds. Source address is 4X 471. Destination is 802. Once I've entered all the transfers, I can easily review the sources and destinations as well as the intervals and data types for errors. If there were any mistakes, I could select the item and click Settings to edit it. Click Exit to close the data transfer object. When this project runs, it will transfer the 8 analog input values to the OIT's local word addresses 800 to 815 every 10 seconds. But that's not a data log because every 10 seconds new data is written over the old values. To create a data log, from the Objects menu, choose Data Sampling. Click New. Enter a description. To record data every minute, leave Time-Based selected and set the sampling time interval to 60 seconds. The read address is the first local word to which we've copied an analog input value, 800. This is the starting address. The OIT starts a new log file every day at midnight. Logging every minute for 24 hours creates 1,440 points per day. So I'll set the max data records to 1,500. That's maximum records per day. The number of days is limited by the memory available. There's 48 megabytes available for user data such as recipes and data logs. That would hold over a year of log files at this rate. Even so, you may not want to have that much data. Consider how frequently you actually need data recorded. Click Data Format. Click New. For data type, choose 32-bit float. Enter a description of the data point. This shows up in the header of the data log, so be descriptive, but try to keep it short. Click OK. Repeat this for the other data points. Click Exit. Choose where you want to save the history files. I'm going to choose Save to HMI Memory, but it can be convenient to save the logs on removable media if your OIT has that feature. Enter a folder name. If you'll have more than one data log, be sure to use something descriptive. I plan to retrieve the log files weekly, so setting the preservation limit to 30 days should give me plenty of margin for error. Click OK. Click Exit. That's all it takes to set up data logging. Once the project is compiled and downloaded, it starts logging. After you've logged the data you want to keep, it's time to retrieve it. If you're logging to the OIT's internal memory, you can connect a computer via USB cable or Ethernet depending on the OIT and use EasyWare 5000's Project Manager application to upload the data logs from the OIT to the computer. Click Upload. Make sure Data Log is checked. Select the location to copy the logs to. Make sure Use CSV is selected. Select your connection. For Ethernet, enter the OIT's IP address. Click Upload. Wait for the upload to finish. Click Exit and Exit again to close the Project Manager application. If you open a CSV file created by the OIT by double-clicking it or using Excel's File Open command, Excel applies its default settings for dates, which typically are not compatible with the CSV file format. Instead, launch Excel and with a blank worksheet open, choose its Get External Data from Text or Import Data feature, depending on the version of Excel. Locate the CSV file and start the import wizard. The data in the file are delimited by commas, and the date format is YMD, year, month, date. This way, Excel gets the date format right when importing the data. If you log to a USB memory stick or an SD card, retrieve the logs by removing the memory device from the OIT and connecting it to the computer. The log files are stored in a proprietary format with a .dtl extension. Excel can't open this file. To convert it, run EasyWare 5000's Easy Converter application. From the File menu, choose Open. Locate and select the file. Click Open and OK. Click the Excel button to transfer the data to Excel. Easy Converter handles the date format correctly. Don't forget to save the converted file. Let's review. To log data, use a data transfer object to copy the data you want from EasyZone controllers to consecutive memory locations in the OIT. Set up a data sampling object to record data periodically in a log file. Retrieve the log files from the OIT before its memory fills up if you want to keep them for an extended period. And finally, use Excel's Import feature or Easy Converter to open and convert log files. We hope you found this installment of Silver Series Secrets helpful. We'll explore additional topics in other installments.